I'd just like to restate some of the things that I've seen for the future that I've said in the past, and a little bit more of what I've been tuning into in my readings for the future of Russia, Ukraine, China, the United States, all the world drama going on right now. As I've said way back in the past, regarding this war with Russia and Ukraine, when it first broke out, I was saying that, well, first of all, I don't see it being likely that we fall into a nuclear war or World War III, although it may be somewhat of a Cold War situation, which you could argue is already happening. But I don't see a lot of the concerns that are coming up right now being something that is going to be detrimental, such as nukes, creating a nuclear war. I don't particularly see that happening in the past, or revisiting that. I still don't see that happening. Also, with China, the invasion of the United States by China, this is a concern, and the news and the media seems to be really ramping things up about this. I don't see this actually being something that we need to worry about right now. And it doesn't necessarily seem like they're going to attack physically. It's more like a slow, long-term process. Like, they're really in it for the long term. Russia is also, you could say, has a long-term outlook, but what I'm getting from them is that they really don't right now. And it's because you may have a long-term outlook, but at some point you get to that point where you're taking action, and that is kind of where they're at. However, I do see them having a lot more foresight than people may give them credit for. In fact, I would like to restate what I've said from before they even invaded Ukraine. I was saying that they're going to take land from Ukraine, and it's going to be a very slow, long process where they gradually take more and more, and that's what we're seeing. I know there's a lot of news that makes it sound like that's impossible, and there's no way that they're going to gain land and hold it. But what I see, what I've seen from the beginning, and what I continue to see, is Russia gaining more land and Ukraine turning into a wasteland. This could take another couple years, but it seems like the basic government just for the most part is broken down, but there's still groups fighting for the cause. I talk I'll talk more about this on my Patreon page, but some of it's a little controversial, so I don't want to trigger people. But there's going to be groups that are not necessarily Ukrainian or pro. Well, they will be pro-Ukrainian, but you could kind of say that some of them may be independent organizations, and some of them will be kind of backed by other governments, etc., etc. but it will be chaos, and there'll just be battles going on. And this could be like in like 5 years before I see Russia really taking basically all of Ukraine for the most part. But I say that with a grain of salt because they're still fighting, and so it's not like the fighting stops. And it's not like Russian citizens just set up camp and it's all safe and, you know, great for them, because it's not. And so I've also been saying this whole way through this process that I don't really see Russia winning necessarily, but I don't see Ukraine winning for sure. And if one was to lose, it would be Ukraine. I've said that from the beginning. I've had a lot of pushback for that, but it's just everybody thought that, you know, Russia's going to be destroyed like 6 months ago, but it's just not happening, and I think this is going to continue on for another couple of years or so. I think that's all I have to say. Just hold on one second here. I don't remember if I mentioned this, but I do see Putin's finger hovering above the button to press for the nukes symbolically, not like there's literally a button, but you know what I mean. And he is willing to use these nukes, but I see him using this strategically, like in a game of chess, where it's going to help him, and I'm seeing him benefiting greatly from this, but I don't see him actually pressing that button, or it at least being unlikely. But I did want to add that he is willing to do it, and if it did come down to it, he would definitely do it. But I don't see that being the situation that plays out with the circumstances of other countries involved to make that something necessary in his perception to do. I will be posting more of the controversial, out there, somewhat speculative information that's come through in my readings on my Patreon page if you would like to check that out. It's only $5 a month to join. I would also like to take a moment just to mention that I do have private readings. Just one second. Sorry, that was an alarm going off. But anyways, I do have private readings, $90 for an hour session with me over the phone. I also offer written readings where you can send one question and I will write back 1 or 3 paragraphs. I usually do more like 2 to 3. Sometimes I do like 5 paragraphs, but don't expect that necessarily for one question. I also do 3 questions for $60, and after that, each additional question is only $13. So you can check out the details on my website. I will post the link to my website below this video in the description, so be sure to check those out if you're interested. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for monthly psychic prediction updates each month and all sorts of other extra additional information. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Appreciate that. Take it easy.